Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I wanted to share with you a fun little warlock build that I have been enjoying ever since Moments of Triumph came out. It's it's pretty heavy on the crowd control. It does decent, burst damage if you do things correctly. It is inspired by the Titan build to an extent that is going around. It's obviously nowhere near as in your face and brutally strong as the Titan build is, but it does take certain elements from that build and we mold it into the Warlock crowd control power fantasy. Now we are going to be using, of course, the Rhymecoat raiment. I apologize if you're tired of turret builds. At one point I too was tired of turret buddy builds, but with some of the stuff that was introduced with Moments of Triumph now, this is actually incredibly fun to use. Now, we're gonna go ahead and start with what makes this build go online, which is the artifact. We will be using the Implement of Curiosity, and there's a couple of modifiers here, or perks, whatever you want to call them, that work in tandem, and only one of these is really absolutely necessary, maybe two. So the first one, Refresh Threads, is what's going to make our build come online. Picking up an elemental pickup, matching your subclass element, or picking up a tangle while you have strand, grants energy to your least charge ability. In this case, our grenade should consistently be our least charged ability, because the way that stasis shards work now is that they just spawn when you destroy a crystal or a frozen target. You no longer have to use the harvest aspect in order to be able to use them. This, in tandem with Elemental Coalescence, which is defeating targets, has the chance to create an elemental pickup matching your super element, so just another chance at getting an additional shard. The other two that work in tandem is going to be Fever and Chill. Rapid precision hits with solar weapons grant radiant, and we're going to be tying this with Shield Crush. While you are radiant, your grenade recharges faster and deals increased damage. Also, I guess Frost Armor will also work here. While you have Frost Armor, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage, but we're not really worried about melee. The rest that I like to run, I'm running Frigid Glare, Fresh Bullet Smell, and Frost Renewal. Those are a little bit more flexible, but the main ones that I would highly recommend is Elemental Coalescence, and Refresh Threads is a must. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our subclass. We're going to be rocking, obviously, the Bleak Watcher for the turrets. And this is also a little bit of a flex. You can use the Harvest for the Frost Armor, or you can use Ice Flare Bolts if you'd like that. However, I really feel like I get the most out of the additional fragment slot. So let's go ahead and take a peek there. For the fragments, we have Whisper of Fissures, increase the damage and size of the burst of your stasis crystals or frozen target when you destroy them. Whisper of Shards for the additional grenade recharge rate when shattering stasis crystals. Rending, so our primary ammo does more damage to stasis crystals. This can be a little bit of a flex. This is more of a me thing. I sometimes like to run the shotgun hand cannon hybrid, and that just, paired with this is great for destroying the crystals. It's not necessary though. Whisper of Conduction, nearby stasis shards track to your position. I really like this one because it doesn't have us running too much out in the field. Yeah, you do have to keep a certain, you have to be close enough for them to start tracking you in the first place, but with this, we're not, running around like a chicken without a head. And finally, Whisper of Durance. Slow that you apply to targets last longer, and for those abilities that linger, their duration will also increase, which means our turret slows, and our turret is an ability that lingers. So if this will keep our turrets out in the field for a little longer. I've not timed them myself, but they definitely last a lot longer with this. Now, the armor bonus set is not a necessity, but it is a nice complement to the build. The idea of the build is for turret uptime. But because we are using Rhymecoat Raiment, it generates crystals. So with the Rasputin set, we can have these crystals do a lot of damage. So the two-piece reads, final blows with area of effect, solar abilities, 7 Seraph weapons or Akila's weapons grant Warmind charges. And each stack of a Warmind charge will increase your weapon and grenade stat. The 4-piece is while you have Warmind charges, defeating powerful combatants, destroying a construct, or destroying a tangle releases a solar detonation that damages combatants and heals allies. Our turrets create stasis crystals pretty consistently. That is a construct. When we have charges, which we will consistently have charges as long as there's enemies to kill, we will always have those ready. So whenever we make a crystal, they will deal crazy explosions. Now, as far as weapons, I like to... these are what I've been using, and these are nice to pair. They're not a necessity, so this is a little bit more open to you. But because we are using the area of effect in order to get our Warmind charges, I like to use Permafrost. It's a stasis. Zeldris' Bane in order for me to get that Radiant buff for Fever and Chill, and then Shield Crush. And then finally, Salvation's Grip. In the event that there are no enemies and I whiffed a turret or a grenade, this will allow us to create stasis crystals and juice ourselves back up. This is essentially a backup. But once we do have Warmind charges, this thing becomes a monster. Now, I like the Shatter Grenade for a couple of reasons here. One, it deals pretty decent damage. I'm sorry if you hear my cat in the background. It deals decent damage, and because we're consistently getting our grenades up, there is ample opportunity for us to have a couple of turrets out in the field, and us throwing a Shatter Grenade to either a crystal on the turret or something that the turret has frozen. So enough yapping. Let's take a look at the actual build here. So we're gonna go ahead and start off throwing our turret down, and then let's build up those Warmind charges. Off the rip, we got 4. We are almost up on our turret. We got another one. And there you can see that Warmind explosion there. Mind you, we haven't even procced our Radiance. And now we got another turret. I like to use the Permafrost because this is a it's a wave frame, so it allows you to have that like extra travel distance just in case you accidentally miss. So it's really nice to have. But watch again, for example. Let's take a look at this with Salvation's Grip now. So let's build up some charges. We're at 3. Now here comes Salvation's Grip. Look at that massive explosion right there. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. Oh, we just whiffed it again. But you know what? We got Salvation's Grip. We can get our grenade back. So I'll go ahead and have some gameplay after this of just an activity in the moon, probably altars, so you guys can see really like how viable this can be, just, you know, on a regular. Obviously this hasn't been used in like ultimate or GM content. I'm just not that type of player. This is just a very fun crowd control build that is inspired by the Titan Behemoth build. So as far as the mods go for gear, here we have Dynamo. In the event that I do have to use my my super, because we are running Frost Pulse, you know, in a panic, we can just use that and then shatter enemies just in case, you know, kind of in a bind, just as a last resort. So it's just a little extra nice thing to have there, along with heavy ammo finder to keep salvations going, kinetic siphon, fastball, and grenade kickstart, all of the defenses, innervation and absolution, attraction, and explosive finisher, and rebirth. So there you have it, guys. There is my fun little rhyme coat build. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys like the fashion, here you go. I have the Satao tribe shader there because it kind of gives off like a like stasis resonance in a sense. So anyways, hopefully you enjoy the build. Let me know if you end up using it. I'll catch you guys next time.